How the Rose Princess Came to Life by Elizabeth R. McClellan. Witching is about knowing. Though we keep cats, a mouse with a message has amnesty, unquestioned by familiars. Her mice get in everywhere, gossip like ravens with less crude sniggers. They do not know us, but we speak their language, are generous in trade of food for news. So it was, a mouse with a mangled paw who came, all quivering nerves, to the new moon and my sisters, to tell tale of foul doings. Two brothers tied up in roses, locked in towers, children who held each other to sleep, with much prayer but no certainty of morning. How we mislike meddling in politics. It is undignified and not our role, but children locked away bring them under our jurisdiction. We steal babies when they are not safe at home. A princely cage is a prelude to the coffin and the grave. Better to be taken by witches and live. They think Iron Fox is a witch, which is convenient, as if we have no nails in our boots, as if you can make a cauldron out of gold. They think iron stops us, because a hot iron will make any lips confess, and a cold one can hold a weeping old crone who never did more than brew a tincture against the cold. Witches sing to iron locks, and they click in appreciation until they spring loose and open. No soldier remembers what laundresses look like if they are not young and beautiful. A mandrake can look like a starved child, and they bleed red. New moon next we lay ready, bundling out the wan little boys who knew not to ask questions, leaving behind a false trail of murder already intended. In their castles, nobles assumed another had beaten them to the prize, made their next moves, continued their chess game of princes and principalities. In the deep forest, where the old growth sucks up the sun, they glowed with pallor and cried, clinging to each other, thinking we would eat them, as if we could do them worse than their own relations had. We fed them when they got hungry enough to risk witch food, found it not poison, gobbled more. We moved them, slowly, by nights, darkening their hair with herbs, trusting the rough weave of their clothes to make them forgettable until they reached the coast, or signed up as ship's boys for a pirate witch with a laugh like forgetting, who would not beat them for holding hands whenever they could. There they passed to the sea, where your story is your own, starting from first port to the farthest shore. Better to be a deck rat than a prince with no army, no defenders. And I was called to a sick bed some years hence, for the pretender I knew had planned 2 murders. In his unrepentant dying, I asked if you remembered, and smothered the lie rising to his lips, and said I had done all I could to ease his passing. In the alchemy of potions, the brews calling for the hair of a king do not falter if the claim to the throne is weak. The strands made their way into many hands that had passed 2 striplings along silent paths. The roses bloom, as ever, better for the pruning. The witches listen to the mice and thrive.